Okay, let's do a quick video. Today I wanted to just continue setting up our stuff. So we have our nice kind of server going on here. And yeah, I want to do a few things here. I do want to have, so we have middleware. This is going to be for auth, I believe. I also want to do, I guess, an API.gov. We'll call this, we'll do type struct, type app of type, that way, which is a struct, and we'll define some fields here, right? So we'll have AI, or not AI, so we'll have a service. I forgot how this works actually. How does the tiny roll this? So we have our API delete handler. We have a shortener. Okay, makes more sense. So let's really quick make some internal stuff because I think that's really important. Internal, we'll do, we write a service here. So we'll do pros image processor, or let's do process processor, and we'll obviously have our processor.go, and we'll have like of type processor struct. Right now, just leave it as an empty struct. I don't know what I'm gonna have here, but this will help us do, some stuff here, So we have processor. Processor. Oh, it's like, what do I call this again? Process. Is this not it? It doesn't have information on that. Kind of unfortunate. Import GitHub. Okay, I don't know what's happening with my types here. Well, yeah, we'll pass in a pointer for that. You know what? Let's call it service, actually. I feel like that makes more sense. Well, actually, no. This is fine. Is it because there's no fields here? I'll take it like a DB context, I guess. Squeal dot DB. Well, actually, no. This talks to like a storage interface. So we'll actually do that. Let me do that really quick. So this is storage. Okay, first let me write those real quick. Let's do storage, right? And we need a storage.go, and we'll call this images.go. Storage.go here, we'll obviously write an interface. Storage.go. So we need something like this. Yeah. But these don't need these at all. We'll do an image storage URL, right? Image storage, which is an interface of these types of so probably I don't know. I'm gonna just write some get get by ID, right? Right, there could be that. Of course, I need to pass in the context. Context ID. I have no idea that type. Type probably string for now. Well, I don't care. I don't think it cares about what I pass in. It just needs to be a type string. Yeah. It can error, or it can do a few things. I'm gonna just say error for now. I don't know exactly what's gonna return, but we'll have to brainstorm that later. But we have a few other ones too, right? We could do get by ID. What are some other things I have here? Let's add this to README. Rotate watermark. I probably have to figure out some like library for this, but I'll probably have okay, I need to remember this is only these stuff I only do delete by ID. This is only stuff with database stuff. I don't care about like all those like image stuff, you know. I'll probably have another one. Right. There's probably more, but we will figure that out, you know. Yep. That's something else. Processor.go. So we have processor, right? Type struct. Okay, we don't need the database. We do need this, right? We need an instance of a storage. Storage, right? Right. Yeah. And what else do I need again? I forgot. Storage dot. You know, I should refer to the YouTube video instead. I keep because it's not the best example.
Min. So I think that's because
I want to see why he has a few things. Script's cool. DB initialization, it creates the tables and stuff. Does some concurrency stuff. Interesting. It actually uses db.go, environment.go, mailer.go, store.go. So this is all the storage interfaces, like what the tables, not necessarily tables, but what you can do to them, you know. And this is where you also create a storage interface. Okay. And then each page has some kind of thing. Post store. Yes, the actual model themselves. So when I look at roles here, this is a very simple version. Roles only has one instance of it, or one help user like function to use. And then this specific table, I guess, gets passed in a DB context, right? So okay, let me do that because I need to do that. So func new storage db db dot, what did it need? Squeal dot db, which will return me an address to storage. Oh, okay, an address, not address, a pointer storage, which will return me storage. We'll have the image storage, and I do need to create a table, so let's create that. Okay, let's do images. So type images struct takes in a db school.db. Do uppercase, and we'll do images, which will take in a db context. We just need to pass in like this, and of course we need to pass in an address like that. Well, of course it doesn't implement any of those functions I want, so let me do that. So we'll have here a func Turn nil for now. Func. Turn nil for now. Nil. Context. Whoa. Wait, so context, and this one is just ID. ID as well. We have here context. And I go back to the thing here, and it should be happy. Okay, it doesn't seem like it implements the database because it doesn't. I need to pass in images. It does that too, right? We implement as a pointer. So we'll do I for the actual images here. So these are functions here. And I'm gonna export these as well, so these are capital. And then that's the image context, and the actual model itself we write, but I have no idea, right? So we gotta do that right here. So we'll to do model the actual table, right? I'm gonna also make a db dot db.go. This is to initialize the db stuff here. I'm gonna just okay, no, I did not need to do that. Just copy this here, and yes, this is just initializes and tests if this like initializes like the DB stuff. Okay, now I need to do some auth as well. And auth.go will basically implement, so I think auth, I need to write a bunch of functions so my middleware can return those. What the function it returns is specific type of logic to like query the database. So right now we're doing the JWT stuff, so we can generate tokens, validate tokens. So the JWT stuff is just okay, so what it does is creates an instance of a JWT type. Obviously, we create a new JW authenticator. So there's some functions that you can use. So there's generate token. Yep. And then there's mock. Well, that's just mocking. And then there's the actual auth thing here. And then in our controller, our entry point, we have our middleware that will handle all the auth stuff. So we have the auth thing here. So auth.middleware here, of course, it returns a handler, and we do the auth header, split it, app.authenticator, do that stuff, you know, r.context, whoopity app, basic middleware auth. Yep. Yep, decode it, pass the username. Yeah, check ownership, check role precedence, get user. Yeah, we'll figure that. We'll do that maybe tomorrow. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.